it's raining. Usually it is not that case to have so much rain, but we're just caught up in it. But it's still so amazing. And I want to share this practice with you called Pacific Coast Highway. We journeyed almost 7 hours in the car, and I've never seen so many cliffs and rocks and rolling hills. So it'll be rolling like a hill today, and spring is in the air. So let's take some flight. Find yourself your most comfortable seated position and be active in your seated position, and lengthen the spine. I even reach with my knees energetically, give a little feedback with my hands to draw my chest through, and welcome breath. If you can imagine how amazing it is to take in the crispness of the air, even walking around between the rain and the raindrops, it's so amazing to breathe it in. That mountain air is nothing else like it. Doesn't matter what type of mood that you're in, I want you to envision taking in mountain air. Take it in from the right nostril. Let that exhale feed down into the belly. Right nostril, feeding it down to the belly. Left nostril, breathing in crisp, fresh, amazing mountain air. Left nostril, and on the exhale, being very specific to where it goes to give length to the spine, feeding nutrition into that fabulous spine of yours, giving it that breath of crisp mountain fresh air, lengthening the spine, using feedback from your hands to draw the chest through. Both nostrils, breathe in crisp, fresh mountain air. The vastness of the Pacific Ocean, so deep, so strong and powerful, the vibration and energy that it creates as the waves crash into the barricade of rocks and formation and sand, and how the spray, as it hits, goes up hundreds of feet. The power, the energy, and how water just flows everywhere. It just is everywhere. Water, there's no container on this Pacific Coast Highway. It just welcomes the energy to the beach and the beach to the energy of this amazing salty water. So clean, so fresh, so much vibrancy. Water has in it. Swallow it up. Both nostrils breathing in fresh mountain air, or wherever you have experienced this amazing richness. Breathe it in. Your air, your breath. Invigorate the soul. And just going to touch, give the gift of touch to the legs, to the knees, to the hands, to the thumbs. Peel the fingers back. And position the hands to touch the mat and grip. Wrapping those triceps, giving even more length to the spine. Feels so good, so inviting. And bending at the elbow. Looking left. Bending at the right elbow. Looking right. Just the beauty all around you. Even if it's inside a small living space, taking in and visualizing the most beautiful cliffs with the most beautiful sprays of crashing waves to the beach, and letting go, allowing that energy of the wave to be expansive as you reach those arms overhead, and rebending at the elbows, allowing the shoulder blades to be invited down, taking out the bend of the elbows and extending on out. And then envisioning your own crashing wave as you reach those arms up, invite them to the sky. I've seen a lot of eagles. I'm not really informed as to what type of eagle, but left arm under. And we're using opposition and gently tipping back, using the connection of the elbows against each other. As you reach those elbow points, feeling natural curve into the lumbar back, thoracic back, and then reaching, letting go, opening up. Rebending at the elbows, allowing the powerful energy of the breath be invited in. Right arm under, eagle arms, using that opposition and creating this hingement of the ribs, of the thoracic spine to be released and let go. Right where that belly button is, from the lumbar back, reaching that elbow point up to the sky. And then releasing, opening up. Spread those eagle wings. Take flight. Rebending at the elbows, allowing that incredible strength of yours, incredible power, squeezing those fists, and then circling, generating power in those arm circles as you tip slightly back, so ears over shoulder, and shoulder are under hips, crack. And how can I silence any noise on the underside? Cleaning out clearing it out, really sensing the blades of the back to be very flat and secure on the back body. Opening up those fingers and planting the hands to the heart. And being very grateful for nature, be very grateful for the gifts that nature has to hold, to clear away the worries of the day. Just looking out into nature. Hands plant to the floor, gripping all 10 fingers. Use the tips of those elbows to give feedback to those shoulder blades. As you sense them on the back body, maybe feeling them directly on the underside. And explore how you can use that humeral head of the long arm bone to pull back. Just really exploring that length of spine, that power that you have in the powerhouse, the solar plexus in the center, being very specific with breath in there. As you release and let go, reaching those knees. Seeking guidance of the breath to have that spine even lengthen more. Have the breath into the space of the ribs open up even more to the sides of your body. Just honoring the breath, and exploring. Even feeling stretch in the hips and the knees. Such a gift to open, such a gift to find movement where you need it the most. Maybe using the breath, the weight, like a seesaw, come into quadruped. Just wandering from right to left, feeling the stretch of the inner thighs. Just making it feel good. Backing it up onto your mat. Maybe stretching your fingers out here to bring in that breath. Using the length of your spine, using the connection of the footprint of the ball mounds of the big toe, second toe, third toe. Rebending at the elbows. Exploring ways of using those bones in the arms to really be secure into the rotator cuff, and maybe tenting the fingers here, wrapping those arm bones to instruct the shoulder blades to come down. It really is like an instruction, that first gripping of the mat or pushing into the foot just allows the bones of the arms and the legs to really feel secure. Using opposite direction as you round the back, the hips, but give the footprint some tactile touch of the big toe pressing down, and then give some tactile instruction to the fingertips to grip. So all of it opens back up into cow. Stepping the right foot back and pushing down into the left, lift into a staggered down dog. And then unload the left foot, bending at the knee, opening up the hip, crossing left leg in front of right leg, and exploring the wiggle of those hips, backing up the hands, maybe tenting here. Spread those eagle arms, pushing down to lift up, hinging from the belly. So inner thighs are squeezing. Get that feedback from the balls of the feet to push down. So left leg over, left arm under. Find your eagle, hinging from the belly. Maybe giving some information of the heel, the right heel to spin in, to feel some relationship of instruction to the hip, to the open. Right here, getting that lateral hip to open, and then hinging back just like when we were in our seat, allowing the elbow point to lift up. And right here I feel very aligned, so my elbow point is going to keep lifting. Ball mound presses down to spread those eagle wings. Once I feel everything lengthen in the front, and it's a stretch sensation but strength sensation all at once. We're going to spin. I might back of the mat, arms open. Hook those thumbs. Feeling that power of Tadasana. Just like in our seat, float those arms ever so slowly, ever so quietly to the back of your mat. Just allow expansion. Allow that breath. Allow the beauty that's all around, the beauty that all surrounds you. Take it in. Opening up the eyes, pedaling out the feet. And then continuing the spin onto the ball mounds. So the right foot is in front of the left, facing the front of your mat. And we're going to start squeezing those inner thighs and hinge the hips to go back and putting some desire of the footprint. Maybe that right heel is spinning in. Give it some instruction up to the hip. Keeping right where this belly button, this magical ring to keep the spine lifted. Getting a little neuro quiver, so I'm going to wait a little longer here. A little crack of the ankle. So healthy and viable for the pelvic floor. And then once I nest my eagle legs, keeping heart space open, right arm under. Nest your eagle and hinge. You're really using that power of the feet, of the breath to lift you up. Pressing down, not rushing it. Let the work do its work. As you explore. And then once you come through, use the spin of those heels to keep the lateral hip open. Creating a sturdy, secure base. The hips under spine. And then once I get to the top, give it some stretch. and open. Fly, eagle fly over those amazing hills. And we're going to spin, pushing into the balls of the feet. Value, especially the feet, the domes of the feet, the arches of the feet, and gripping with the toes, keeping lots of energy into those feet. Find your Tadasana, find your mountain. Find anything that calls your name as you sit into Utkatasana, bending at your knees, but keeping still length of the spine, using opposition of the hands against the thighs, thighs against the hands. Picking up the right heel, and we're stepping into Warrior Two. And then into side angle. Bending and extending those knees. So beautiful. And reversing. Maybe spinning the arm bone here. Coming into Warrior Two, front of the mat. Side angle. Maybe into triangle. Squeezing the shoulder blades here. Strengthen your back. Pivot. Ball mound. Take flight. Get the hips to be a little perky as you unload. Get that neuro quiver. Find your airplane, but spin those arm bones. Feeling the energy of the shoulder blades. Coming to a standing tall position. Just going to give a little feedback of that right ball mound to push down, to give me my tall. Warrior Two. Left foot steps back. Side angle, triangle, squeezing shoulder blades. Make it feel good. Back of the mat, Warrior Two. Side angle. Triangle. Pivoting. Get the hips to go a little perky. Get the length of the spine. And take flight, airplane. Spin those arm bones. Let that ankle find its neuro. Neurology is everything. It's power. Coming up to a standing tall position, pushing in the ball mound of the left foot, grabbing length into my spine, Tadasana. Finding breath. One more time, picking up the right heel, pushing in the ball mound, Warrior Two. Side angle. Triangle. And we're tipping back. A lot of power in the trunk and torso of your body. Front of the mat. Warrior Two. Angle, side angle. Lean on in. Triangle. Very much using breath and connection with my feet. Lead the way. Hands, arms, all part of it. So even before I am going to unload, I'm challenging my hips. It's okay to touch it with a little ball of the foot. Spreading those limbs, shoulder blades down, airplane. Let the quiver happen. I'm coming up tall, kind of leaning. My back line of my spine is going down, but my front of my belly muscles are going up. It's like this pulley system that we forget about, but it feels really good once you're able to work that through. Ball mount pushes down, find the length first, and settle into the heel. Utkatasana. Lengthen. And power. Lengthen. Bending at the knees. Utkatasana. Extending. Feel the heels working inward to outward. And everything in between. Feel good. Power. Fold forward. Both hands plant. Stepping back into plank. Down dog. Rebending at the elbows. And then spin those arm bones into child's pose. Big toes come together, knees grow wide. And lengthen. Don't forget to breathe. What a gift. What a gift. Take your time in finding your own savasana or any place that you can. Stay here as long as you can. Take in the beauty